worry that by calling attention to the crisis, by going to South America, that you're going to alienate, that you have alienated, that you're going to alienate the Biden administration, which is likely ultimately where that money's got to come from?
Well, first of all, right now it's coming out of the pockets of New York City taxpayers. We need to understand that. We received a little over $100 million from the federal government. The rest is coming from New York City taxpayers. And that means giving money to struggling, low-income New Yorkers. All those programs we put in place to finally allow New Yorkers to move out of systemic poverty are now being challenged. And so I think the president has done a great job. We've stood side by side around crime. We stood side by side around environmental issues. But on these issues, I believe the White House is wrong. We cannot allow cities to go through this and carry the weight of a national process. And I'm elected to represent the people of the city of New York. This is the city that I policed in, I protected, and I'm not going to betray them by merely being quiet on the issue of this magnitude.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. And this is the midweek report. And we are here live. It has been a minute. Feels like anyway. But and you know, I think my last live was the Bayard Rustin Malcolm X debate breakdown. And from then to now, I think a lot of what was being exposed in that video about people's political tactics or whatnot, I think that revealed quite a bit of it. And as of late, for me, I've had some interesting follows, shall we say. So it's noticeable that we are moving into a different time. They have watched what goes on in the grassroots circles. They've infiltrated the grassroots circles in some regards. And so you have close reporting, I would say. So you kind of know and can feed information on who people should probably pay attention to. So I've just noticed a few, shall we say, suspected Democratic think tank individuals following all of a sudden. But, nonetheless, it's to be expected. So with that being said, welcome, even you too, to the beatzillapdx official show. If you could do me a favor, if you are one of those Democratic operatives that are watching right now, you too can also hit up the like button along with this wonderful chat that has already came through, showing up early. And so along with those of us who are already familiar with this platform, well, you're going to get a little insight on what the grassroots is feeling again this evening. So, like I said, family, if you could please like and share, because it's been a minute since we've been live. And yeah, so we'll take our time with it tonight. That's all right. Yeah. So hopefully everybody is feeling well. If you are not subscribed yet, you should be, and that way you can interact in the chat and let your voice be heard. Chime on in. If you are watching a replay of this, you can most definitely leave a comment and let us know what you think, which some people obviously do. But, whether yay or nay, you disagree, because here's one thing I want to hear from this year. I want to hear from the people that can actually sell us the Democrat Party. Not tell us how bad the Republicans are, but who can legitimately sell us Joe Biden. I would love to start seeing that debate take place, and I'm open door policy on that. So there's that. And if you are one of those that want to get a firm hold and a firm grip of what's going on over here, so you can make sure you go back and report to the correct individuals the correct information, well, you can become a member, like dark-skinned brother right here, who has been a member for 8 months. Shout out to this brother right here. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you, my good brother. So if you didn't know, you could also become a member of this channel as well. And there's some videos that I will be uploading on the musical end. And then I'll probably end up putting up a lot of that on my other channel, which is Sunday Drums and Coffee. So what you need to do is go subscribe to Sunday Drums and Coffee. There's not much on that channel yet, but Sunday Drums and Coffee is me. So we will be doing more things with that as well. And that is where a lot of, after they get in the members only section for get some run there, and they sit with my members, then I will release that over on that channel. So, but members only for probably even the first month. So that's how I'm riding with that. So I'm gonna be putting just uploading what I got, because for those that had watched the video that I actually linked, you guys know that they have the whole entire show taped, and it's on YouTube. So wasn't no need for me to do any of that, but I will still put up some of the other videos. But with that being said, another thing we do here at the beatzillapdx official show is we greet those of our members in chat. In the chat, our folks in the chat, they always get a good shout out, and this is how we like to start our lives. And it's been a minute, so good to see all of you in the house. Again, shout out dark skinned brother in the house, and shout out our good sister C. Terry in the building. Yes, indeed. And we have our good sister Miriam. If you don't know who she is, then if you've heard the replay of our Twitter Spaces, then you should be very familiar with who Sister Miriam is, and should know her voice. Very familiar voice, so you'll know her when you hear her. So shout out Sister Miriam. We have Sony81 in the house. Good evening. Welcome, my good sister. And we have Lawrence Lilly in the house. Welcome, Black First family. I appreciate you being here, brother. And then we got our sister Tia to you in the house. Welcome. Welcome to you. Welcome. Let's see. What did I just see here? It flashed in front of me. Okay, I'm going to get to that here. We got Derek Parker in the house. Black First family. Good to see you, Derek Parker. Welcome, brother. And we got One Who Cares in the house. Welcome. Excuse me. One Who Cares in the building. And we got Angelic Elena in the house. Welcome. Yes, indeed, you did catch a live, my good sister. And we are here. This is not a premiere. We are legitimately right here. So yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. And here's another one of our members, Black First Family, Ohio, checking in. Lady Effa in the house. Welcome, Lady Effa. And then we have Ms. D at Suite 201. Shout out to you, my good sister. Thank you once again for being here with us this evening. Yes, indeed. We got another one of our members, Maxwell Jenkins in the house. What's going on, my good brother, Maxwell Jenkins in the building? And Maxwell Jenkins has been a member of B1 Warrior for 2 months. So shout out to my brother, man. I appreciate that, man. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours, as well as you, Lady Effa. Peace, power, blessing, and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you so much for being members of this channel. I appreciate y'all. And then we got our brother, dark-skinned brother, coming with the super chats. Yes, indeed. He says, I could tell you why FBA can't be bought by the Dems. That's another story. Oh, man. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of, and they're not, it would be one thing if it was like, oh, some Joe Nobody. No, these are permanent. And it's funny when you went and got, like, you don't get like lightweight. You go, yeah, okay, we pay attention. I know there's big money in that one. Big money. So they really do want to know that what they will do is they will tell us how we are not winning and no one's listening to us. We're speaking in a vacuum. We're talking in an echo chamber. Well, I guess that's not really turned out to be true, as some of the numbers in the polls are turning out to show. However, they will, lie, because, like I tell y'all, at this stage in the game, one of their strategies is, when all else fails, lie. So you got to be, ready and primed and equipped with the wisdom and the knowledge to know what you're seeing, to be able to call that liar out and, man, stone them with that stone of truth. Hey, Sugar Jones in attendance. Welcome, welcome, my good sister. I believe you also out there on the East Coast too. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. We got our sister, Sister Miriam is in the building. Yes, indeed. And let's see. Okay, we got my good brother, Kid Gravity Beyond. Black First Night Rider check-in. Shout out to you, my brother. And y'all need to pay attention to what Kid Gravity be talking about, because we are in the crunch time, as some Democrats will show you, and by way of something that I've just noticed on my Twitter, because I'm just asking a simple question. So y'all still voting for Joe Biden? And people, yes, yeah, I'm undoubtedly yes. Okay. Well, yeah. You get this thing queued up here. One of the issues, and I just want to touch on a lot this point. Oh, hold on now. Where am I? Stop. There we go. All right. Let me get this where it needs to be. There we go. Okay. So I already put my disclaimer up. But one of the things that I want to show y'all is how they're portraying things. They're presenting a narrative, and this is what the mainstream is doing. Anyone but Trump, damn it. Loser ass Biden sexuals. Kid Gravity Beyond. Facts. And that's what's so crazy to me. C. Terry said those are the masses, we sick Negroes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're stuck on this line. However, I'm just looking at the interaction. Like I said, I don't need to hear about how bad Donald Trump is. I don't need to hear how bad the Republicans are. Because the truth of the matter is, we can talk straight policy. The fantastical conversation is gone when you have 4 years of President Trump. And now you have a good solid 2.5 years of President Biden. You have to admit to yourself the disaster that you're facing. While they're still pushing all these people on you, acting like it isn't even happening. However, here's how the mainstream media will lead you to believe that this illegal invasion crisis is somehow rhetoric. Like, rhetoric is something that you're trying to imply that what is being presented, the notion that's being presented, is not true. However, this cannot result in to rhetoric when you see thousands and thousands and you're having to move Black folks out of their community centers and veterans out of their veteran housing to house illegal invaders. These people are not coming over here legally. They were illegally invading this country by the day. So what we need to figure out is, how do you justify when, oh, you always stood up for me and I will always have your back, and all you have had is his backside to kiss? How do you justify that? With a stroke of a pen, he already could have signed in law a hate crime bill. But instead, he is signing checks for what they are saying we are calling rhetoric. Uh-oh, where's my sound? There we go.
Is to the limit in many American cities. Now hospitals are sounding the alarm, saying also overwhelmed, including some far from the Ainsley headquarters.
Night, the border crisis surging. Officials telling NBC there were over 200,000 illegal crossings at the southern border last month, and around 3 million migrants crossed the border in the last year. Now, a new warning 1,000 miles away in New York City, where officials tell us resources are overwhelmed. Across public hospitals in New York City over the last year, nearly 30,000 visits by migrants and 300 new babies born to migrant moms.
Whoa. Whoa. See, this is what we're talking about. They got over here ready to deliver. So they now we qualify for DACA. This is Joe Biden's doing, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an accident. These things do not happen by way of happenstance. This is something that was a long-term plan. Why? Because Black people are actually demanding something, and we are now at the place to where the talking heads do not speak for us anymore. And the rest of the world is taking notice of the Al Sharptons and all of these Obamas and all of that. They don't represent the masses. They represent the boule crowd. That's one that I can give them. They most definitely represent the boule sector. That's a fact. The Black Greeks, the oldest fraternity in America, the Black fraternity. Yeah, And all y'all do is bend over backwards to sell Black folks out. That's all y'all do. So we're going to talk about some things tonight, family. Dark-skinned brother with the super sticker. Shout out to you, my brother. Cut the checks. Shout out to you. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, I see it. Cut the check. Shout out to you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours, my brother. I appreciate that. Sister Mary said facts. Kid Gravity Beyond said hospitals better say no. I mean, come on. For real though. I mean, we gonna just continue to break bread where it ain't supposed to be broke. And then for us, we're the ones getting left out. How'd that work? Yeah, how that one work? I don't think so. I'm not for that. Y'all should not be for that either. Let's see.
Staff here at Bellevue Hospital tell us they're eager to help, but the numbers are tough.
This has been the hardest work that I've ever done, but it's been the most impactful work that I've ever done.
And most of the visits to the taxpayer-funded legal clinic here are by migrants.
Our clinics are full, and there are waiting lists, and people are turning people away or referring them to other places.
Randy Redkin from...
Now, the reason why the most of the people who are I guess applying for these things is because those are the only people who know these programs exist. Now, here's the real kicker. Why don't the citizens that are sleeping in the streets know that these particular programs exist? And you want us to vote for Joe Biden, who literally told you that and told your black leadership, this is what's going to happen. How did he know that we're going to have to we're going to have to work with the Hispanics? While we're talking about reparations, I just want to also put this in perspective. You know, because we're going into 2024 election. Joe Biden, so y'all can see, do y'all realize that Joe Biden is in the White House based off of the blood of George Floyd? Y'all realize this? Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and Rashard Brooks, to whom Fannie Willis let the police off after they were actually charged. Then, for the killers of Ahmaud Arbery, Joe Biden's DOJ is trying to cut a sweet deal against the family's wishes. So that's why I have to keep asking this question. How do you justify, as a black person in America in 2023, to vote for Joe Biden in 2024? That doesn't mean, and hear me good, I didn't say vote Republican. I'm asking you, how can you with a clear conscience vote for Joe Biden? That's all I need to know about. All of the things that I'm saying have happened under these people's watch. I can say in my city of Portland, Oregon, gentrification was, there was no Republican leadership anywhere near it. Not a one. However, they made sure to put Planned Parenthood sitting up right on MLK. That's what we know about these folks. I'm just curious on how you can justify continuing to vote for them. And I'm, like I said, my door is open. I want to hear the legitimacy that you were trying to give this man after doing all of this. Where he's apologized to the black. That man is proud as hell as everything he does. He ain't sorry the first. There's no recorded apology. There's no printed apology. There's no official apology. The man's been in office longer than a lot of folks have been alive. So you ain't seen it, it ain't existed.
New York's legal assistance group says so many migrants are asking for legal help on asylum representation and healthcare access. Now she says American citizens who need...
Hold on, that's right there. That's not by accident. The reason why they're showing the black migrants is because they understand Joe Biden just sent a gang of Haitians home. And they're starting to low-key deport Africans too. So if y'all, I don't know who's paying attention, but this is how they getting down right now. I'm just, man, y'all thought y'all had a friend over here. Boy, y'all better wise up.
Legal assistance with issues like eviction and insurance have to wait up to 10 weeks.
If you ask me, do we need more resources for legal services? I would say absolutely yes.
Meanwhile, New York's governor now slamming the situation at the border.
It is too open right now. People coming from all over the world are finding their way through, simply saying they need asylum.
And New York Mayor Eric Adams saying providing services for migrants will cost city taxpayers $12 billion. But Biden...
$12 billion in a city. In a city. You mean to tell me that $12 billion couldn't go to homeless shelters? Doing something about them extra-sized, oversized the jungles of Peru size rats that they got in New York City. Come on, man. Come on, man. $12 billion. We just can't. And in Chicago, oh yeah, Kid Gravity, I see you. Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, my brother, because I got that. Black Spider in the house, welcome to you. And also, thank you for being a member. I appreciate you so much. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours, Black Spider. Thank you. And dark-skinned brother, he came in and said, bring it on our family and give them that work. Brother, I have to. Shout out to you, my brother. And again, peace, power, blessings, and protections be up on you. Now, let's get back to what you say. Chicago just took away a youth football team's field and for migrant housing. The community is mobbing up and they're going to snatch the mayor's balls and toss them in the Chicago River. If he still has any, because he damn sure doesn't have a backbone. I mean, this is atrocious, family, but just to give y'all some, I think I do have. Let me get this. At least Eric Adams is saying something. That dude out in Chicago, boy, he got no smoke for the Democrats. He's just gonna eat it all. It's like, what's wrong with you, man? Oh man, do I have that in here? Come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Showing up. Yeah, let me show you what Kid Gravity's talking about in Chicago. So this, again, I gotta wonder. And I just want somebody, if you're watching the replay, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks, I'm going to need you to sell me Joe Biden without trying to sell why not Trump. I could have a million reasons not to like Trump as a human being. But being president of the United States isn't about being liked. That's why everybody else gets policies and you get pats on the head and holidays. So what the brother Kid Gravity Beyond was just mentioning, there was this youth football team and they came out in support of the kids. So just to show you what voting for Joe Biden does to Black communities. Again, if you are watching this replay, you can comment on and let us know what you think at the timestamp. Here, you can let us know. But this is what your man is up to. I'll shout out to them people for getting out there, making their voices heard, and letting them know. See, this is the thing. Y'all gonna have to deal with the people. You're not gonna be able to just say, well, this is what the concerns are. No, you're seeing the people. You're hearing the people. As much as you guys are paying attention to what goes on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, you hear exactly what the people are saying. We ain't talking about climate change. We ain't talking about gender. We are talking about the economy. We are talking about reparations on a lineage-based level. We are talking about getting an anti-Black hate crime bill. And all we are getting is every runaround excuse. And now, if you guys are aware that there's been a mass, what they're calling it a mass shooting at Morgan State, an HBCU, instead of, and now I can't help but notice that they're not mentioning anything about mental issues or anything. This conversation was straight to guns. So we got to do something about these guns. Back to guns. So again, using black situation with Black folks at a Black HBCU to maneuver that into let's go get gun legislation. Here's the I guess one of the biggest things that you should always take away from 2020. Nothing about the George Floyd situation had anything to do with guns, with the exception of Kyle Rittenhouse. Amazingly enough, when it was Kyle Rittenhouse, there was no talk of gun legislation. Somewhere in the mix, you get a lot of appearances with Black militant-looking groups walking around with their guns. What happened next? Another mass shooting that has nothing to do with Black folks. But the familiarity of the AR-15, which has been used multiple times in all of these different shootings, to where the assailant was of the European descent lineage, the historical Edomite, the Caucasian individuals, these children and grown men, like in Las Vegas, because I guess Las Vegas would not be considered a small town, but good old Aldine, don't do this, you won't try this in a small town. Wasn't there 250 people shot at your concert? Said people, they're shooting from here, they're shooting from there, they're shooting from everywhere. Yeah, that's Jason Aldean's concert. Let's just remember who was on stage. And now he's back. And now he has to put his foot in his mouth again. And, there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to like what we're saying here. But we have to tell you the truth. Hospitals are overwhelmed by migrant needs. First off, they're invaders, and we should not be paying.
Administration officials have blamed Adams' response. It is not an operationally sound effort, one senior DHS official told NBC News. Meanwhile, moms on the street are desperate for city help. We met Orlando, who fled violence in Venezuela. He didn't want to appear on camera, telling us he slept on the street before coming to Bellevue for cancer treatment.
How is that for you, given your medical condition, to be sleeping on the street?
You have to make believe it's a good bed, a king size, and you lie down wherever and go to sleep, he says. Orlando tells.
How many people do they walk past every day that have a cup or a sign saying, "Oh, can you spare some change?" What is different? You literally bypass these people every day to let these folks come in America to do the exact same thing. Here you go. Take my money.
As he came to New York because he heard about the social services the city would offer to migrants like himself, who were trying to start a new life.
Optics. Now you talking to a whole Latino. Why do I see nothing but black faces over here? What you trying to sell? This again, this is how Democratic propaganda machine works. So now they're using the optics for something that legitimately has nothing to do with us. Nothing. But, you know, look at the screen. I mean, you can't. The optics are the optics.
Life. The Biden administration recently granted temporary legal status to nearly 500,000 Venezuelans, allowing them to work. Today, Governor Hochul announced there are 18,000 jobs now available to eligible migrants.
How does that make sense? I mean, really, how does that legitimately? There's 10,000 jobs ready for migrants. And somehow, this makes sense. I mean, shoot, we got to vote for these folks now. How? How does this make sense? Oh my goodness. I thought I had that video in here. Damn it. Where is that video? What? Okay, I guess I don't. Okay, so in the meantime, let me play this stuff. Because I need y'all to again to see where I guess it's fitting. Look at how things work. Because we have all of these black politicians, when they get elected, people tell us that how good it is to have a black person in this job and this black person in this position, and the first black person to do this and the first black this, black that. And we need a black this and black representation because it's good to have black and black. Well, this next little clip brings us to city of Los Angeles, California. As y'all know, Karen Bass, who was part of the Congressional Black Caucus, is now the mayor of Los Angeles. And, you know, she has often demonstrated her true allegiance. And, you know, so I guess it would be no surprise that it's fitting that she continues with that makeup. Check this out.
Hey, Los Angeles, it is great to be here at White Memorial Medical Center celebrating National Latino Physician Day, along with Dr. Hector Flores, a friend for a long time, who started the Latino Family Medicine Residency Program. So, very exciting day here.
Thank you so much. You know, the mayor and our program have been collaborators for many, many years, starting when she trained as a PA. Our goal is to diversify workforce, and that's why we established this residency program. We had great success in graduating. 2/3 of our graduates are coming from underrepresented groups in medicine. Latinos in particular, almost 40% of the state's population, and only 6% of the physicians in California. So there's a huge disparity. Root causes are many, but one of the things we can do is work with our colleges and medical schools to increase the numbers through holistic admissions processes. So despite Prop 209 and the Supreme Court decision, we can actually overcome it. And there's some really good examples in Charles Drew University, UCLA, UC Davis, that have done a phenomenal job of diversifying their classes, even though we've had those constraints.
And we also know that healthcare delivery is improved when the patient can relate to the physician. So training, recruiting, and training Latino physicians is absolutely critical to addressing 40% of the state's population. Thank you.
Wow. And now we see where these allegiances are lying, family. And it is not with the fam. That's for certain. They don't give too much of a damn about us. I hope y'all understand that. We got our brother Blackjack 21 in the house. What's going on, my brother? Yes, indeed. Let's see. Why are Accolade 310 said, why are these 18,000 jobs not ready for U.S. citizens? I am wondering the exact same thing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Mr. Power Tool, welcome, welcome, welcome. Stay safe out there, family. Things are about to get very dangerous. Keep me close. Keep the Most High closer. And always carry your steel. Shout out to Mr. Power Tools for that message. I appreciate that, brother. Yes, indeed. Yes, my brother, you're able to catch up with us tonight. Oh, and we got Reginald Jeter in the house. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Yes, indeed. Yeah, chilling on that east side. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out to both of y'all, Reginald Jeter and Blackjack in the house. Oh, yes. See, Terry said, I can't stomach. Well, to give, like to the video I played talking about the migrants in New York. So we see how they have the plan on the West Coast. They're all sanctuary cities. All these Democrat-ran areas are facilitating this. So we just saw Chicago, black kids being harmed by these policies. I don't have to, Trump said something bad. I'm not concerned about what Trump said. There's other people running as well. Here's the truth. If you were willing to get away from the idea of this party over one other party and started really moving in an independent space, then you could actually see some real differences. But until that happens and these people don't feel like they're so married to something, because black folks are the voting base of the Democrats. And right now you are moving well into 2024, getting nothing but symbolic gestures, empty symbolic gestures, a come up for one individual that no one else is winning from. But here's what's going on in New York.
We have a 2-for-1 solution here. Now we have all these people who want to be here. I have all these jobs that are open. You marry the two together and you've solved the problems. So last month, I directed our State Department of Labor to identify and start connecting employers with eligible asylum seekers and migrants who are on the path to work authorizations. Well, guess what? We already have nearly 400 employers who stood up, who said, yes, we will embrace them. We'll hire them. We'll give them that shot at the American dream that they've wanted for themselves and their families. So as soon as they're able to work, we'll have the people available. So we are going to be able to solve this. People want to work hard. They always do. It's part of who we are. And I'll tell you, as long as I'm governor, we'll never forget who we are. We remind ourselves we are that great city. We are that great state that people have always emulated. People have always been attracted to come to New York City because of who we are and how welcoming and good we are to our people.
No, they've came to New York to come up. What are you talking about? But again, you have people in New York that would love to be able to come up, but they're not getting those opportunities. And so a lot of those people were entrepreneurs, and had stands here and there, and then they got ran off. And now you even let migrants sell food in the subways. Damn the citizens. It's absolutely insane. But so I keep it fair. I want you to understand, I'm not just picking on the Democrats. I have to speak on the Democrats because they're the only ones in black folks' faces promising them something while getting everything from the black community and then destroying it at the same time and then have black folks a glutton for punishment. I got to do this because my family and my ancestors died for the right to be abused by the damn Democrats. You done watch strokes of pens for everyone else, strokes of checks for everyone else. And every time black folks in America historically have asked for economic equity, then a war ensues. And, oh man, it's going to be too expensive. That's what you got to look forward to. But on the flip side of that, the Republicans have not brought us anything else. So again, this is a situation where we have to choose our own interests. And if however it plays out for whatever party, that's fine. Because we are speaking collectively with our vote. That's a voting base. That's a voting block. That is a solid political power. But as long as you want to be a house divided, stop asking everybody, why can't we stand together? We have the Democrats openly promoting a gender divide within the black community. No other community is getting done that way. But nonetheless, we have literally what they talk about, decentering men or whatever. That's not a decentering man. That's a devaluing men. Devaluing black men. And that's been a common practice of the Democrats. So let's keep that in mind. But at the same time, this is what the Republicans got to offer.
Slavery. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests. We survived discrimination being woven into the laws of our country. What was hard to survive was Johnson's Great Society, where they decided to put money, where they decided to take the black father out of the household to get a check in the mail, and you can now measure that in unemployment, in crime, in devastation. If you want to reach slavery,
oh, and here's another one. Yeah, we got to see this too. I mean, wow. Tim Scott. What a piece of work, huh? What a piece of work. So again, can't cape for the Republicans neither. Now, but again, at the same time though, so let's weigh this in the balance. Back to Chicago.
Over 116,700 people in our care, including over 63,000 asylum seekers.
Wow.
Over 122,700 asylum seekers have come through our intake system since the spring of 2022. We have opened 211 sites, including 17 humanitarian relief centers. And last week, from September 25th to October 1st, more than 3,700 new asylum seekers entered our care, which is hard to believe. I think it might have been one of the biggest weeks that we have had, or definitely approaching it.
In freaking say.
New people coming into our care. Before I open up for questions, you all know that the mayor is traveling today to Latin America to see some of the issues up close and to advocate for stronger southern border solutions, working with partners in Mexico, Ecuador, and the region. We have said it from the beginning, but it bears repeating. This is a global humanitarian crisis. And once it hits the United States, it's a national crisis that requires a national response. I'm not sure that this administration can say it any clearer. With that, I'll take some questions.
I'm glad to see that these cities now are saying something, because now they're witnessing. So here's the point. Even the paid shills who have jobs are complaining about these bad policies. I don't need to hear about how bad the Republicans are. They're trying to get rid of democracy. Okay, go with me here, family. We have a constitution. right? We have people consistently speaking about, let's get rid of guns. We need to do something about guns. We need to do something about guns. What next? It'll be free speech. You know what's after that? Freedom of religion. So we hear about the Republicans trying to end democracy. Well, those amendments are put in place to ensure democracy. I could have sworn. Checks and balances, something of the sort. So to always be trying to interfere with the Second Amendment of an American citizen would be, number one, unconstitutional. Number two, it would be an act against democracy. I'm just talking basic logic. Twitter censoring and making sure you silence Black voices. The YouTube demonetizations of Black voices. You know, we are always messing with the algorithm, so we always have issues in the algorithm. I go through that on every broadcast, even uploads, by the way. Thanks, YouTube. So to make sure that my views are suppressed, to make sure, like I said, it took one day, I guess the person they had watching my account must have missed pushing the button. And next thing you know, I had 16,000 views in a day. It's like, yeah, look at that. See how that works? So I guess they must have skipped work today. So again, I'm fully aware of what goes on here. And so the attack on free speech has already been evident. They actually use the attack on free speech to say against right-wingers, but let's be clear. There's no other white group targeted for these laws. Because as much as you can hear one side saying one thing and the other side saying the other, you never see any laws that affect them. They'll throw this out and be like, this affects that. And it only ends up affecting us. No, I'm suggesting we do something different. And until you legitimately let these people sell Joe Biden to you, don't sell the fear of Donald Trump. Because you could fear Donald Trump all you want, but plenty of people going to be like, I'd rather get paid. I'm not really, because you don't like your boss. Your boss don't like you. Your company isn't your family. Where you go to work at, they don't give a damn about you. So why would you be crying about some politician and what he said? Here's the point. What has he done for American citizens? I don't need to be concerned about his thoughts of other countries where he wouldn't be intervening in the Russia war. He would have backed out. Good. I mean, because truth be told, people don't give Obama enough of his bloody credit. That man took out world leaders. Gold holding world leaders, by the way. And they all cheered the day they killed Saddam Hussein. They were happy when Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown in his own palace and executed on the back of a pickup truck. It was all great because guns were useful for a democratic overthrow of a government. Oh, yeah, let's also not forget Hillary Clinton's destabilization of Egypt. See, all of these places that are going on in disarray, they're all this turmoil that you see, now we got to go fix. Oh, they caused it to begin with. Fast forward to now. Shooting here, shooting there, shooting everywhere, but we're not talking about anti-black white supremacy. They could put swastikas on the gun. Somehow they go out there and say, I just want to kill me some ends. And we're talking about, in the same conversation, the uptick of anti-Semitic attacks. Now, and then this is how they'll spin it. Well, yeah, we're not saying that anti-Semitism attacks is the same as violence, but they're just as hurtful. No. Me losing a loved one behind anti-black violence and you getting called a name on the internet is not relative to the same. You understand what I'm saying? Blackjack said their definition of united is us staying docile. You better know it. Bruce in the house said, do those 117K people in their care include homeless U.S. citizens? Hell no. Thank you for being here, Brother Bruce. I appreciate that. Man, you already know, Bruce. No, they don't. They probably just like, yeah, figure it out. Here's a blanket. Man, dark-skinned brother said, until we get them reparations checks and hate crime bill, I'll sit back and study veto or voting only to stay in the end. I am still voting. That's what we got to study in the middle finger. Oh, and the middle finger. Okay, gotcha. A rhetorical question. Oh, yeah, I already know, brother. Yeah, Brother Bruce. Oh, absolutely no. And that's the thing. They are, you're going to start seeing a lot of people that are upset because they're dealing with a more educated political class. And the voters are not getting any dumber. But just to show you the nature of people being out of touch, look at Dianne Feinstein. These people are willing to die in office. It's that important and that serious to them that they will die in office. Some of them probably going to end up being literally. It's going to be, you're going to come in there and then Nancy Pelosi is going to be over like this. Because she wants to run again. It's like, man, you were in your 80s. What connectivity to the people do you have? What are you holding on to? And this is maybe another question that Democrats need to start asking. Same with the Republicans. Why are these people dying in these seats? Why? Well, actually, I can say, you see the Republican farm. For the Democrats, they just raise yes men, Democratic yes men. All they know how to do is whatever the DNC say, we gonna do. And whatever the heads of the DNC say, now, no, I do not mean the chair. I mean the thinkers and the people that say, you're going to do this. This is our guy. I'm talking about those people. I thought Pelosi retired. Maxwell Jenkins, no. She only retired as speaker so they could pull their other political stunt. And that's, if they could secure the House seat, but they need us to do that. So what they'll say is, well, see, we're trying to make history. See, we gotta get Hakeem Jeffries elected. See, you understand? Here's the problem. Hakeem Jeffries, hold on. Okay. So reading this, Hakeem Jeffries, this is a statement that he actually mentioned while coming out of what are those recent meetings for avoiding the shutdown? This is a solemn moment for the country and those and for the House of Representatives. The Constitution gifted us the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. House Democrats will continue to put people over politics and work together in a bipartisan way to make life better for everyday Americans. It is our hope that traditional Republicans will walk away from the MAGA extremism and join us in partnership for the good of the country. Now, where does all of a sudden this MAGA extremism talk come from? So where's these MAGA extremists been all this time? All of a sudden we're starting to mosey on into every racist in America is Donald Trump. Let's not look at the problem, because no, Peyton Gingrich is not Donald Trump. Killer Kyle Rittenhouse is not Donald Trump. Derek Chauvin is not Donald Trump. The McMichaels are not Donald Trump. The asshole that killed Breonna Taylor, not Donald Trump. Amber Geiger, not Donald Trump. Yet and still all of these people. Betty Shelby, she got a whole black man's death wiped away from her record. He's just dead, and she's now listed on paper as not being responsible at all. I mean, just let that one sit in your system. That man is gone. And there's no paper trail linking her to his demise. They have now said she is not even responsible for his death. Philando Castillo. Was that Officer, was that Yanez? Yeah, he's not Donald Trump. Yeah, see, all of this still goes on. None of these people are Donald Trump. So we don't need to be where he's making. No, you have enough of that. DeSantis has been getting along just fine. So explain to me, how are we getting to MAGA when you had all of this fight against woke and all of that? There was no Trump in that. But there's still a lot of people subscribing to that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're not MAGA. They just white. Let's keep it simple. And see, we're not going to get into the, oh, man, this is petty. No. No, because at the end of the day, this is what you're selling us. Unlawful. Look at CNN. You're ashamed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. But at least you did call it unlawful. Shout out to you for almost telling the truth. Unlawful border crossings hit high for the year with over 200,000 apprehensions in September. Those are the people they caught. Meanwhile, they push this. Oh man, yeah, that's what they want you to do. They want you to buck break yourself and live your truth. All right. Speaking of living truths, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh man. Oh, okay. So let me see where I want to go next. Oh, Yeah, let me hit these last two Trump supporters, and then we'll go forward, because I do want to show you another issue. But see, and the last one, Trump is a Trump supporter, but I'm gonna let you know, you ain't gonna be able to find me. See, they understand what company they can say what in. You understand? So y'all better learn that part.
Do you think more
Check
people are
this
going to
out.
support Trump now in the
I
hood
like
or
Trump.
no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Cause at first I don't think people was fucking with him, like they thought he was racist, saying little shit and against women. But once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people their free money, oh baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Yeah, that a little bit of free money goes a long way.
We need him back. Cause
Yeah.
baby, them checks.
Yeah.
Oh yes, them stimulus checks, Trump, we miss you.
That's like Whoa Vicky. She's always talking about Trump. You see her ever?
I like Trump. No, I ain't never seen Whoa.
She's funny.
I
She's
love
just on
Trump though. He
Instagram.
funny to me. Like I used to watch his not interviews, like him talking to people. He used to be calling people fat.
Yeah.
He just bold.
Wow.
He funny. Like
We're
we
trying
need
to-
people like him.
Well,
First thing you ain't gonna do is have me in an interview and ask me about another person. As an artist, you're not gonna turn around and ask me about another artist. Oh, you know that? Whoa, Vicky. Some irrelevant clout chasing. Like, so are you comparing me to Whoa Vicky? Whoa Vicky's not a rapper. Whoa Vicky is a fake clout chasing internet person, which I guess you can kind of see the comparisons here. But nonetheless, this girl's an artist, and you never let nobody do that to you when you're sitting in an interview like that. So, but nonetheless, what she was saying about Trump, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of people that probably feel that way. I get it. Because, down there and where some of these people is at, only you got to talk to them with some money. They've got a lot of nothing from the Democrats, and then they had a change of something. And when you bring in change and dropping off change, things can change. And not everybody's gonna be rocking with you like they used to. But it makes perfect sense, So, like I said, I want to play this last Trump supporter. Oh boy. Check this out.
I mean, keep indicting him. The more you indict him, the more you show how desperately you do not want him in there, the more I want him there.
Why is that? What is it that gives you that fuel from the indictments?
Because they're they're ridiculous. They're jokes. We should have paper ballots. We should have one day to go in and vote. And if you don't have the time to go vote, why are you even in this country?
Don't you want more people to vote?
I want more legal residents to vote, sure.
Right, but if let's say someone's working two jobs, they have to pick their kids up at school and they can't get there to vote on the one day because it's not I know you want it to be a holiday, but as it is now, and I think a lot of people would agree with you, as it is now, it's not. So isn't expanding voter access important?
Expanding voter access is critically important, but, and I will say this, we've proven to ourselves that we can't be trusted. We've proven it.
How?
Look at the 2020 election. I was a single working mom, 2 kids. My first husband was deployed constantly overseas. And you know what? I made it a priority to be there to vote on voting day.
Right.
Wait, what? Your first husband, who was deployed. This is 2023. The election was 2020, November, when Roland Martin was out there looking out the window crying. I'm so happy, y'all. Look at this. Y'all. Well, that right there is very questionable. Ma'am, what the hell did you just say? So your first husband was deployed in 2020, And so now here you are talking, I guess, now with a whole new husband, because your first husband, I don't know who says that and still married to that man. So, wow. Oh, okay. Jezzy. Bella.
It wouldn't have been easier. I'm just asking, wouldn't it have been easier if there were 4 days where you could go in with the same?
You know, I'm sure it wasn't easy for those guys that died in the Revolutionary War. And I'm sure
Nothing,
it was
but I think that they.
I'm sure it wasn't easy for those people in slavery either. While that Revolutionary War was going on, ma'am. Because you do realize there were slaves in America at that time. Building it, by the way.
Probably fought for.
So the least that you can do is show up and vote for people that have died. So no, I don't buy that. That to me is a joke. If you care about freedom, if you care about,
Well, did they care about freedom?
absolutely, they died for it.
They were slave owners.
Oh my gosh! So you know,
I'm asking. That's why.
You really want to know who the original slave owners are? I mean, let's talk about the human condition.
I'm just asking. You're so like out of.
This is where she realized that she done effed up. See the look on her face? That's the look on her face right now. When she knows that she effed up, so she has to find a way to back out of this because she could go full blown racist, but then of course she would be full blown racist. So she recognizes now that, oh, slavery, yeah, he just kind of snuck that in one in on me. Ooh, yeah. I mean, but look at that. I mean, the human condition. I mean, I don't feel slavery. Yeah, you tried that freedom line and it backfired horribly, ma'am. That's the look of, oh shit, how do I get out of this? Let's hear her try to backpedal out of that.
One side you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, they believed in freedom.
Owners even get into this?
Well, because freedom. That's what I'm talking about. They believed in freedom.
See, how did slave owners even get into this? I mean, man, we're talking about white business here. I mean, we're both white. Why are we bringing in our wretched pasts? I mean, we shouldn't even have to talk about that. And I'm sure a lot of y'all be like, well, that's the MAGA folk. Then show me a liberal having this conversation when it comes down to slavery. Let's see how far we can get. Ask your white friends, hey, how do you feel about reparations? See how liberal they still are. I'm just saying. So you got to understand what your agenda is that ain't tied to everybody else's agenda.
I mean, we're in Charleston, right? Yeah. This was the biggest port in America at that time for the slave trade. So I'm asking, when you say that they believed in freedom, you know, it's a little hypocritical historically, is it not?
Absolutely. Have you read history? I mean, like, let's talk about the Jewish folks. They were slaves for how many thousands of years? Christians were slaves forever.
We can talk about their.
Yeah, but there's only one conversation that you really ain't willing to get into, isn't it, sweetheart? You notice how she didn't even say anything about black people. Well, the Jewish people were enslaved. I mean, just look at Moses. I mean, Moses was in Egypt. I mean, look all the way back there. Come on. This is hilarious. This is absolute. But she's trying. She's trying to back. She's trying to
there
back.
Are many enslaved.
But let's go back. Our founding fathers were indentured servants. Most of them were fleeing the British rule because they were slaves themselves.
Really try that?
So I don't buy this whole, it's a challenge and slavery. Listen, the only reason why people are talking about race now, people are talking about slavery now, Tell me one person here who has in one generation been a slave to anybody.
Nobody is. I'm just talking. I'm not talking about the foundation.
You went smooth off the rails, sweetheart. I mean, see, it tapped into something. He's talking about slavery. So when they start telling you, well, most Californians don't like the idea of slavery. Slavery is slipping in people's minds. You're asking people like this. Of course they can't even sit up here and admit slavery happened. How on earth could you figure out that they would be, well, yeah, they'd be gung-ho for y'all getting reparations? Are you kidding? And then people only talk about race. Man, we are a race of people. We have an ethnicity here. And we are different than you. So to say, ain't nobody talking, what the hell are you talking about? You have a whole United Nations. All of those people have their own individual cultures, which guess what that means? They're talking about race. When they have to come and get what's for their people, they have to talk about race in the sense of this is for our people. What she's trying to do is boil this down into a skin color conversation. We're far past the skin color conversation because you can deem us a people because a skin color doesn't have a lineage, but a people does. Not to be confused with peoplehood. Let's hear the rest of this demon.
Fathers. I didn't bring them up. I was just asking because you brought up freedom. They believed in freedom.
They did.
So I asked. Yeah.
And they did.
Okay.
And they got it. 14th
Excellent.
Amendment. Whoop.
And they got it, the 14th Amendment. You hear that one? And they got it, the 14th Amendment. Yeah, let us know what you think. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. So let me see. I need to go next. I guess in the midst of that, let's go here. Video that I came across a couple hours ago. It appears that we have another staunch anti-foundational Black American tether coon. But why do y'all call us tethers and y'all pick on Black immigrants? Y'all don't say nothing to the other groups and this and that. Because the other groups come over here and identify as white, and then they go get next to whiteness. They don't sit up over here doing all of this gutter trash and then say, oh, this is Black culture. And then when you get a win, oh, well, this is this. And then go get become a politician and start speaking for our community. Because once let's all these publications have been talking about pushing this division in the Black community. All of them is ran by tethers. Ain't one ran by a foundational Black American. You can't find one. So with that being said, here's the other issue of the Democrats. Allowing too many of these folks to come over here and then you get them, promote them to start speaking for us. Like this nigga here.
Not one person alive today that was a part of slavery.
No, for sure.
Most of these motherfuckers that's claiming that they done been through something may never experience no racism in their life.
Wrong, bitch nigga. I'm sorry, family. I tried. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Plenty of us have. I have as a child. What the hell are you talking about? And where are you from talking like this? Man, I ain't what? Hey man, most of the people saying this, okay, you sit down. Let's go through the experiences. If this is a problem with these damn tethers, they come over here and then start talking as if our experience, number one, ain't real and legitimate and true. Well, I'll tell you what. You know, and it's not until something happened to numbskulls like this, then they be like, man, it's racist, man, it's racism, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, hold your own damn nuts and don't send your family over here to the grassroots where, I mean, we all got to be. No. This is why we not rocking with the Democrats again, because y'all allow this, and not only do you allow it, but you encourage it. You only vilify a Candace Owens, but you have nothing to say about assholes like this because they benefit your cause. They're going to push LGBTQ and everything else against reparations. We don't need our reparations. They're going to push all of that. Like this punk-ass nigga here.
But I guess it's the systemic part that we still...
What's systemic about it?
Systemic racism?
Mm-hmm.
On the screen it says, now he's saying, what is systemic about racism? Have you done your homework, sir? Clearly you have not. But I'm sure you've driven on a freeway, going through a metropolitan area. What is systemic racism? Gentrification, urban renewal, medical apartheid, yeah, you know, stuff like that. There's plenty of, here's one that barely ever gets mentioned. How about steelworker unions? And all these other unions, plumber unions, all these mason unions. What about the carpenters, journeymen, tradesmen, and all of those different unions that black folks ain't just waltzing in the door getting? You don't want to know where is it at? Where is it at? $2020 is only 3 years removed. And he's asking about where is systemic racism? Asshole.
Tell me what's systemic about it. I don't see it.
Wait, did they change? What's the thing where you got to hire a certain amount of colored people, whatever?
That's racist in itself.
Yeah, I know.
Affirmative action.
Affirmative action. Yeah,
that's racist.
There's some company.
God, all these people are stupid. Where they find these idiots? It's like you get one moron and you put him out there and be like, okay, let's dress him up and then let's have him start talking. And then they start talking like this. Somebody actually might think they know what the hell they're talking about. Everything this dude is saying is wrong. Everything he's saying has been proven to be the opposite of what he's saying. I don't see it. What, you got your head in the sand? I see your face. Maybe he don't look. Maybe he don't realize he looking at people and talking to people right now. I'm curious because this dude is saying affirmative action was racist in itself. So I guess he's unaware that white women were the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action. Guess he's unaware. How did it become racist if, well, it's racist. So is it racist because white women were the most hefty recipients of it? I'm confused. I guess just about as much as this dumb nigga.
Is pulling that back. They're saying, hey,
yeah, they did away with it.
Yeah, they're
largely.
Like, yeah,
the Supreme Court did away with affirmative action.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I'm like, let's get.
That's racist in itself. That means that you're not getting in on your merits. You getting in based off of the fact that they had to include you. I know so many people that got into college based off of the fact that they was a part of a diversity, equity, and inclusion program, and they flunked the fuck out.
Right. We got to put you in here.
That's a lie. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because they don't get, you don't have bad grades getting in and admitted to a university just because you black. That's bullshit. The hell is he talking about? See, you get these marks over here, And that's a whole nother thing. That's why we say tether. These type of individuals are absolutely detrimental to Black empowerment and have no connection to what we got going on. This is an op. And big, bearded, bitch-ass op. Because listen to how he's saying, he ain't got nothing to do with what our ancestors in this country done went through. But why? So why is he even speaking? Man, I ain't seen, this racism. Man, yeah, okay. Well, man, may these obey show you what time it really is. Then you go ahead and don't come crying to Black folks. See, man, Black folks ain't sticking together. I got ran down on by the white police officer, man. He was like, "Are you Black? And I'm just gonna give you this stick upside your head." Come on, man, we gotta stick together, baby. I don't think so.
He couldn't even handle it because they wasn't prepared to be able to compete on a larger scale.
So the people that you know aren't that smart. So what you just identified as being in the circle, and you're surrounding yourself with people who can't cut the mustard on an intellectual level to even handle their schooling, being admitted to a university for the first. Whatever. Don't listen to fools and frauds like this. They're just out here to spew white, anti-Black talking points. And this brother is extremely dark. Extremely dark, but he got to look at his shirt. Somebody done gave him some money. He feel like, he talked down on Black folks up there looking like a second-rate Rick Ross. So I'm doing things. See, I got a Versace sweatshirt. I got a Versace hoodie. Look at me. I'm balling, y'all. See, can't you see the shades? I'm stunting on y'all, huh? When I grew up, our house didn't even have a roof. It only had walls. And people could see through the walls because the mud hut was put together with straw. But now I'm an American and I'm shining on them foundational Black Americans.
Oh, you don't believe in systemic racism?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's too much money for it to be a systemic racist.
What? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hopefully you live in Georgia. Fonnie Willis come pay your ass a visit. Holler that then like Young Thug was. Man, I ain't got no time to worry about that, man. We just out here getting money. Okay, now you getting charges. Hey, lift your ass up. Dummy. I mean, these folks be out here just, don't put your foot in your mouth. Don't do that to yourself. Don't, what dark skin brother, what a dumbass. That guy's got a YouTube channel. You're right. Well, they're going to start running these folks out. So you all got to be ready and prepared to see who they're going to start running out. Because also, I told you, they was running out Mano. Let's go run out Mano. They got Mano. Him and Angela Yee got basically got their little thing together. That's what I've been seeing. So I told y'all they had to figure out something to do with Mano. Fox Soul gave him some money. They gave him a fat check. Gotta make good on interrupting this grassroots conversation. But see, here's the thing. Dealing with this voice, the voice of the people, all of you in this lane over here in this sector of speaking up for the truth, speaking up for reparations, speaking up for justice. These people are worried. They are worried. Ms. D said, he live in Detroit, he broke, he faking the phone. Well, it says something to me. A sign of that you got the sign that you got money, I guess, will be the here. Let me put this flashy shit on. A sign that you're wealthy is that somebody would know what you have on, but it's not marked or labeled. Because they didn't see that in some expensive magazine or some. You understand what I'm saying? Be like, damn, got some money. Because it's understated. So they got the money enough to rock understated. That's wealthy. If you flash, man, let me show you what I got. They broke. They a few months away from being destitute. Don't kid yourself. I'm telling you. be hurting quick and fast, family. But let me see. Let me play something real quick. Where'd that go? So yeah, we got sausage heads like that coming in the mix, talking crap. We can't deal with folks like this. Let's see. Oh, so real quick, a real brief walk down memory lane. Just as a refresher, because again, we're talking about symbolic politics. And something to always remember when people try to sell you something for nothing and give you nothing for all of your something, especially for Joe Biden. Remember this.
The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill.
He proud about it, ain't he? He proud about that. Every last one of them had my, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get them. All those super predators. I'm just saying. You all should have voted for him. You should have voted for Hillary, you stupid fools. Maybe we shouldn't have. And maybe we did the right thing by not doing so. Have you perhaps thought of that? But let's just understand some things. We have to look at the symbolic natures of some things here. Oh man, these next ones. Oh boy. Let's go here. Because see, we're getting symbolic gestures. I need to get this other one in here. Because we're gonna have to take another walk down memory lane real quick. Not too long of a memory, but a memory nonetheless. And then also a look into the future to just kind of understand like where their thinking is headed. Because remember what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said he's not going to defund the police. No, he's going to fund the police. And one of those areas of funding is technology. We see robot dogs, police dogs, and whatnot. You know, that's something that anybody could say, well, yeah, I've solved those before, you know. Who knows what they could do if the circumstance presented itself for them to be on a destructive war path. But I mean, I guess we need to have robots and walking around like this. Yeah, what are they going to be doing? What function are they going to be carrying out? And like I said, so there is the look into the future. Here's a look into the not so distant past.
Million Americans refuse to comply with the vaccine mandate or show their papers.
That's categorically untrue. We didn't threaten anyone, and we didn't demand that anyone be fired.
Did forcing 2-year-olds to wear masks save lives?
And who did the forcing?
Well, your department, or the Head Start, which is under your department, had a mask mandate until late last year for 2-year-olds and above, even outdoors. So can you point to any public health benefit of that policy?
Right. We never forced anyone to do anything because we don't have the jurisdiction or authority to do that.
Did you encourage states to adopt student vaccine mandates?
I did not encourage states to adopt student vaccine mandates. Where states...
Excuse me, sir. You said right here, not only do I support it, but I'm encouraging states to come up with a plan to make sure it happens. The title of the article is Education Secretary Backs Mandatory School COVID-19 Mandates. Mr. Parker, you're one of a number now of officials in this administration who has come before this committee and tried to tell us that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. Sitting in the chair that you're in now, the Secretary of Education testified, gave false testimony to this committee, denying that he had promoted a student vaccine mandate when he had done precisely that. Sitting in the chair that you're in now, the Secretary of Health and Human Services made one of the most outlandish statements ever entered into the congressional record, which is saying quite a lot, when he said, "We never forced anyone to do anything," in relation to the widely discredited policy of forcing young children as young as 2 years old to wear masks. And now you come before us today, asked about one of the most sweeping abuses of power that we've seen, that was rebuked by the Supreme Court, and you tell us that we didn't demand that anyone be fired. So has there been some sort of memo going around? Why is the administration insistent on rewriting history?
All you have to do is read that rule, and you will see that it is not a vaccine mandate.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to get away from that part of the Biden administration as well. Yeah. So, yeah, they're not worried about anything. Oh, man, it's okay, dude. I mean, you just need to vote for the Democrats because the Republicans, that's not talking to my community's concerns, though. This dude also did this. There were black folks that lost their jobs. We've Sister Miriam, we've been in spaces with people who said they've lost their jobs because they wasn't getting the thing. Once again, more harm that came to us. I mean, good grief. I mean, I'm just saying, man, if you guys can produce a result, why? We should look to Joe Biden as something else other than what he has been. Then present that. But I don't need to hear about how bad someone else is. Because here's the truth at the end of the day. I don't have to vote for anyone. So doesn't it make sense that they should be going after winning my vote versus telling me to do what they say and fall in line and just do what the Democrats say they want us done and blah, blah, blah. And then let's turn around and hear the White House give all of these Ukrainians who ain't never paid a tax dollar in America, they're getting benefits that American citizens are entitled to, and they're getting money hand over fist with a firm commitment from our leadership.
There is strong, very strong international coalition behind Ukraine. And if Putin thinks he can outlast us, he's wrong. He's wrong. And so we will have another package of aid for Ukraine soon to signal our continued support for the brave people of Ukraine. And so that's our message. If he thinks he can outlast us, that is Mr. Putin, we believe he's wrong.
See, everything outside of even American citizens is important. You have people sleeping on the street. Homelessness is rampant. I live in a city where homelessness and fentanyl overdoses is off the charts. We had 18 fentanyl overdoses this week. Well, no, I'm sorry. What am I saying? No, not this. We did not this week. In one afternoon. One of them being right across the street from where I was. In front of City Hall. So you have to understand how the game is played. Like here, for instance, our local media refuses to show white criminals. Let me see. Can I have this picture in here? Okay, so our local news is refusing to show white criminals. Now they'll show black ones. Like, I'm sure y'all heard of the African, the tether that he's from Seattle, but he kidnapped some girl, some white girl or prostitute or something from Seattle, drove her all the way down to Southern Oregon. And so they show his face all the time. I guess he's done this before. Other victims are coming out. He had a whole like dungeon for the chick. And so what they keep doing is keep showing his face. Now, let me show you something. This guy right here, he's already assaulted a few women, been in a few different skirmishes. I believe he is now linked to a unlawful deletion. And if you make sure you get this guy's name on the screen, so I hope you know, because this is pretty much the only picture that exists. Now, as you can see, he's clearly been booked in to Multnomah County jail, either the Justice Center or Inverness. So he's clearly been booked. He's in the blues and pinks. However, if you go try to research this story, they're going to show you where like the entrance is to where the event happened, because this dude has a very extremely long rap sheet and the police very much knew who this dude was. He just recently assaulted a woman the other day after I guess he done got done killing this other guy. And so you're not seeing this Isaac L. Woodward face nowhere. This guy right here. And so, you know, when they talk about all that crime in Portland, this is a reason. Think about this. We have 3 targets in our city that are supposedly closing because of crime. Let me show you what crime in Portland, Oregon look like. That's what crime in Portland, Oregon look like. So all of this crime that you keep hearing about in Portland, Portland is rampant. Okay, what you gonna do about them then? So as y'all can see, all that talk about the crime in Portland and crime in kindness went away. Because when people had to come here on the ground and investigate what that crime actually was, who that crime was, and what that crime, what community all of that crime was coming from, somebody done went back somewhere and said, hey, we need to stop talking about crime altogether. Not even like if it's going to be crime, then only show black mugshots. So right now, KTAU, Channel 2, Coin, Channel 6, KGON, or KG, what is it, KGON? KGW, Channel 8, and Fox 12. All of y'all are definitely purposely only showing black mugshots, even if they are being arrested with white counterparts. You're not showing the counterpart of the crime. And as of recent, within the last 2 weeks, the anti-Black stabbing of the 2 teenagers on the train, I didn't see this man's face until Professor Black Truth got it. They mentioned his name and what it was because we knew what time it was. We knew what happened in the city. But how they're trying to allow it to get out? Yeah. So here's the significance of that dude and this dude. Both of these guys have a very, very, very extensive rap sheet. But our media is going out of their way not to show them. So if you saw Professor Black Truth's last Friday crime report, that's probably one of the only pictures of this guy. And then this, which, mind you, he's been booked because this is an arraignment. There's no mugshot photo. They didn't. None of the news outlets for a man that just recently attacked a woman did not want to put his picture out there. Here's another thing, though. We always talk about women and women being assaulted and all of this. Here's 2 dudes who are repetitively getting let out. They're homeless. They're not on supervision being released. See, there's pretrial release here. These people are just simply being released. Not on, what they call that? Closed street. They have, so you have like pretrial, it's called pretrial release. But you're reporting in to a deputy every week. So it's very interesting that these guys, like this fella here, they could just mob on out and go straight back to getting up on the street and shooting dope in public, because that's what you can see in some areas in Portland, Oregon. Is a bunch of guys that look just like this, smoking up dope and shooting dope or loading up dope right in front of you, right in front of the parole office, right in front of the bank, because my bank is right across the street from the parole office. And what used to be across the street was a parking lot with a bunch of food carts. The food carts are gone, and the drug addicts are a whole city block. Homeless dope use. Any time of day, you could go see somebody doing drugs on the street. And majority of them would resemble this fine fellow here. So just putting it in perspective, when they start talking crime, and all the statistics and this, miss me. I live in Portland, Oregon. You can't fool me. Black people like drugs. Yeah, come to Portland, Oregon, and come see your cousins then. Yeah, come see if that lie holds up. Yeah, I'll show you the truth. Yeah, bring your ass to Portland. I'll show you the truth. Got something for you. Now, so with that being said, this is the Democratic media that we have in this area. And that's what they push. On a global scale, you know what? And I'm gonna have to do this other video. Now I see the time. I ain't got enough time. We'll be here all night. So I'm going to have to split tonight up. I see that Yeah, I'm gonna be splitting tonight's broadcast between tonight and Friday. I already see what we have to do. Yeah. So, with that being said, we'll deal with the matter at hand. Cause I gotta split up. I gotta split it up because we can't get through all of this tonight. Because I have a lot, but I mean it's I ain't been able to. I didn't get any videos up last week, and it feels like it's been a minute since I've been live, especially on camera. So I do have I got plenty, but I wanna make this manageable. So we're gonna split tonight between. So it's gonna be a two-parter. So this is part one, symbolic. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, symbolic politics, and part one. That's what we're watching right now. And our next broadcast will be symbolic politics number 2, because we have to thoroughly get through this thing, and I wanna walk it all the way down. And here's another thing from Noam Chomsky, just kind of giving game of how things work when you are living in an anti-Black society. That's why I also said we need to make sure we hand out societal indictments. And at this point, we're going to have to start putting them on Black folks, because you can't keep selling us this, telling us how. And then you want to sell us Joe Biden by insulting us, to say our value should be devalued to us because of what now? Well, I just a lowly nigga. We ain't that. If you want to be that, you do that somewhere else and maybe go hang with the tethers that fled. However, let's listen to some of remember what Joe Biden just said. All of them laws have my name on it.
African American slaves. It did something for about 10 years. Then there was a North-South Compact, which essentially granted the former slave-owning states the right to do whatever they wanted. And what they did was criminalize Black life in all kinds of ways. That created a kind of a slave force. In fact, one of the most interesting books on it, Douglas Blackman's, is called Worse Than Slavery or something like that. It threw mostly Black males, but also women, into jail, where they become a perfect labor force, much better than slaves. If you're a slave owner, you have to you have to keep your capital alive. If the state does it for you, it's terrific. No strikes, no disobedience, perfect labor force. A lot of the American Industrial Revolution in the late 19th, early 20th century is based on that. Actually, it pretty much lasted until the Second World War, when there was a need for what's called free labor in the war industry. After that come about two decades in which African Americans had a kind of a shot at entering the society. A Black worker get a job in an auto plant. The unions were still functioning, maybe buy a small house, send his kid to college or something. By the 1970s or 80s, it's going back to criminalization of Black life. It's called the drug war, which is a racist war. Ronald Reagan was an extreme racist, didn't hide it. And the whole drug war, so-called, is designed from policing up to eventual release from prison to make it impossible for the black male community and more women to be part of the society. In fact, if you look at American history, the first slaves came in 1619. I mean, that's half a millennium. There have been about 3 or 4 decades in which African Americans had a limited degree of freedom.
And you know what? I think that's where we're going to leave tonight. I think we're going to leave it right there. I think that right there gives a great point and a great intermission to this topic of symbolic politics. Wow. So put this in perspective. That number one, you're looking at black folks that have only gotten freedom for less than a century. However, have been captive for half a millennium. Do you know how exceptional of a people you have to have the energy, spirit, and voice that you do today? Do y'all realize that? They want you came from monkeys and blah, 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 and you guys are low IQ and miss me. And then here's the other thing. Let's get fleeing cowardly tethers to now come over here and start talking down on foundational black Americans' plight in America, our history, our accomplishments, our creations, to boil it down to ain't no white supremacy, ain't no racism. What you talking about? Ain't no such thing as that. Ain't none of that going on. You a coon. Man, let me tell you something. We have, again, like I said, and this is why I'm going to have to do part 2. So this one's going to be part 1. This is the midweek report, Symbolic Politics, and we are coming right back with number 2 on Friday. The weekly wrap up will absolutely be part 2 because I ain't even got to this story. I ain't even got to that story yet. So, as y'all see, I had absolutely a loaded bag for y'all. And man, y'all just don't even understand. So yeah, I'm gonna need all of that time just to go in on that. So yeah, Friday gonna be about 2+ hours. So yeah, boy, this would have been a long broadcast. Jesus. Yeah, my family on the East Coast, like, oh, I have to catch the rest of the replay. So yeah, I'm gonna break tonight. But we gonna go in, and there's also a piece from that has to deal with the energy and the motion, like, and the movement that we have been able to foster within the black grassroots. It makes other people feel, I think, and this is just my speculation, that some people might feel like they might be left behind. So in things to when other groups are promoting, they're invoking our names. So they're saying black. Then you look, ain't no black people over there. But they're using, because as certain groups are recognizing, oh, well, hell, the numbers dictate, we might want to get a little chummy with the black folk because they have a legitimate cause. And there's only going to be one more election of, I guess you could say, a battled voice. And truth be told, right now, even heading into 2024, we are not really battled. There's just people, see, so here's the people, all they can do is sell you on the discouragement of your own plight. And that's what they're going to be trying to do that move. Man, and the rest of us black Americans going to, no, you don't speak for us, coon. You want to stay with Joe Biden saying, well, the Trump people and the MAGA people, there are so many other people running in these races. Some people haven't even announced that they're running as independent yet. Let's see how the playing field shakes up. I don't have to jump into Joe Biden's car. See, where y'all are stuck at is because the people who pay you told you to come out here and sell that soap. Well, for those of us who, well, that's black American. No. You paid Coons and Shields. We're not concerned about you. Not to mention, I could tell that some of you new people are out of your element because you don't even understand how to operate Twitter right. So it's meaning that they have resulted into putting all of you old Lynx members and all of you old Veterans Clubs members and Jack and Jill alumni say, hey, pick up your phone and start getting in the mix and start interrupting some of this political discourse that's going out here on these Twitter streets. And if you see anybody not saying that they're not going to vote for Joe Biden, make sure you go hit that post and say, man, here's a talking point. Man, the GOP and Trump and MAGA crowd want to take us back to the 50s. Man, you really want to vote for Trump, the one who was trying to end democracy? Like I said, we had medical misinformation. You had the disinformation dozen. You had our brother Reza Islam on that for saying we don't want your stuff, and you're willing to demonize him. You have the NAACP and NAN and all of you other Black Caucus members buddying up with the ADL who believe that they can dictate to Black people who they should listen to and who they should support of their own community, such as our Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is one of ours to listen to or not as we see fit. That's another thing they're losing, and they don't like that. They tell us who our leaders are. We're telling them. We'll tell you who our leaders are. And right now, we're telling you that the code is the leader. If you want to know what the objective is, reparations, justice. Dismantle white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice. Those are the basic words. It's very simple. And so when these people want to come around, give us a symbolic victory, symbolic gesture, such as this new appointment from California, you got to know what tree they're coming from. So we did a little research on that too. And then also there's, like I said, you have some of the other groups popping out there wondering, because we've long said we need an anti-hate crime bill. Well, we're going to have to address that one Friday. But I do want you to understand other people, when they have to look at the reality of what they're facing, the whole idea of who we are going to have to get used to working with is starting to feel a lot more like they are figuring out who they're going to have to start working with. And that's a good thing. You understand what I'm saying? MC Nestor and KBR. I said Foxwell, KPTV, Channel 12. Yes, indeed. Rolling with his tired New Jack City music in the background. Small room closet. You know what's funny about Roland and that music? Has anybody ever noticed that basically sounds like a bootleg Martin intro? Uncle Row, Uncle Row, Negro, please. I mean, I guess we definitely in that age range. You could call somebody uncle, but my nephew and nieces, babies. I mean, so. Oh man, you know. Lord, so I'm glad I went ahead and ended up on the Noam Chomsky thing, because we're gonna have to fill that in. So I'll probably start with a refresher of that video Friday, so we can keep this show on the road, and then we're gonna work right on into the second half, because Lord, I was like, damn, this is gonna be one of them long ones where I just take a break. But nah, I think like I said, we just gonna split it up, and it has to be. So I hope y'all enjoyed the first installment of Symbolic Policy. So part 2 will be this Friday, and let me see what we're going to have to talk about this disappointment, and kind of get into some of the things that y'all might not have been able to research about this woman, or because you just didn't know she was. But she's, you know how those people that you kind of always see in around these, here's the Black Woman Empowerment Summit and this and that. Just kind of keep an eye on that. But when you start seeing things like this, time to be like, maybe there's more to this than we think. So we're going to talk about that Friday. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Who? And so this is a person that barely anybody knows, and for good reason that you don't. But she's pretty much been there. You just wouldn't notice her because she wasn't a prominent figure at all. But yeah, we gonna get there, and we gonna deal with how it even deals with local politics as well, because man, the connections are crazy. Follow the doggone money. I'm telling you, These people ain't coming out here saying what they saying for nothing. This person, they had Barbara Lee that they wanted to put in that seat. Gavin Newsom was like, no. And I'm going to tell you what happened here. Obviously, communication from the Black Caucus to the White House, the wires got crossed. But anyway, we're going to talk about that Friday. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Can't you see? Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it, family? Ooh-wee. Yeah. Yeah. Lord. And, oh, Lord, before I go, MC Light. Because I haven't done a video since she put out her statement that, well, I don't really think, yeah, Joe Biden called him a boy, but I don't really think he racist.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboozling, Uncle Tom Negro.
MC Light. Just no. No. Boy, these folks here, boy, they but I will say, it's the industry for you. And when the industry is controlled by certain interests and certain groups, here's the thing that they know, that the people up top know. They'll never have to deal with the backlash that artists will. But they don't care because they never gave a damn about their artists in the first place. They were just a tool that they were willing to finance to get their objectives done. And what do we say about white supremacy? When it's done with its tools, they don't ride off into the sunset. No, you are working for a destructive power. And what do they know how to do? Steal, kill, and destroy. So they break their tools. So for all of you people who are trying to sell the soap for Joe Biden, we know he said this.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Never forget.
I'm not always going to only talk about what we can do for black people. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Hooey. Yeah. And you're also, like I said, we're going to get into this other part a few days from now. But you're going to also just understand when you start seeing people trying to mosey on over next to us and get close to us, it's for a reason. And most of us already know what that reason is. They're up there doing a Birdman hand rub. Oh, wait, y'all finna get some money. Y'all about to try to make some move. You know what you need to do? You need to come back to Africa, brother. We need all of you to come back. You get your reparations and you come home. Hashtag hands off our reparation.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And to that Dusty Tether talking about, I mean, because number one, you talking to a whole individual who probably isn't one of us anyway. So to both of y'all,
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
You shade tree nigger.
so never forget, family, if you guys are married to your party and just blind loyalists to these do-nothing Democrats and these anti-Black Republicans, I'm saying vote our interests. We're not in love with anybody. We are in business. And we are in the business of empowerment. If you can't understand that, then this is why your Democratic Party is doing this. You understand? Oh, Lord. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to really, really thoroughly get into it Friday because there's some more things that I do want to discuss. Yeah, we'll do all of that Friday. But I do want y'all to see what I wanted you to see. And this is my take on Jimmy Butler. That's Jimmy Butler Stewart right there. That's how he showed up to the press conference. And he don't play for the Miami Heat no more. He played for the Miami Cherry Wines. We don't have to take our clothes off. We'll just shoot some hoops. But yeah, this has been the first installment of Symbolic Politics. And so for you out there that are going to be trying to come out the woodwork, because like I said, we got free smoke 2024, baby. All of you Biden sexuals that just say, oh man, y'all gonna ruin it for us. They gonna put us back in chains. Oh look, well, you ain't gonna fight for it anyway, is you? Sambo. And for the other weirdo, like systemic racism, where? Well, I don't see no systemic racism.
Where's your family from?
You understand me? So, with that being said, all you hard-headed tethers, hard-headed DNC lovers, all of you Black Anns, be here Friday, because most of us are sane thinking and we are really thinking about empowerment and we understand what our empowerment is about. And clearly you don't. So just to hold you over until Friday, for all you shills and think tanks that believe that you were going to convince this group of people to just blindly vote Democrat because you believe you can either shame them, insult them, or scare them into believing your lie. Well, I speak for myself here, beatzillapdx official. Those of us here at the show, y'all in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new Black media. I would have to say I speak for. I think it's safe to say I speak for everybody involved when I say that we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up
That's right, Blackjack, the hyphenated crew. Facts. Oh, Shawana S. said, Joanna man. All right, all right. I'll see you, Angelica Lady. You have a blessed evening. Drink some cherry wine. Oh, no. And make sure you like and support this channel, family. Please make sure you like and support. Yes, like, share, like, and share. Going on. What's going on? Kermit, I see you in the house. Oh, Mammy see light. So much to break down. You have to break it up in two parts. I absolutely do, brother. I absolutely do. So, family, you all can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you would like to support this channel, you definitely can do so by first hitting the like button, also sharing this on your social media, and then also you can donate at CashApp $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp $beatzillapdx. And we got PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so with that being said, we're going to get ready to get on out of here. The hyphenated crew. That is hella funny, too. I mean, that's exactly what it is, ain't it? The hyphenated crew. So true. So, again, family, like we said earlier, don't forget that.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
So make sure you tune in Friday for Friday's broadcast, where we will be concluding with part 2 of Symbolic Politics. So thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out with me this evening. Y'all could be anywhere, but y'all chose to be here with me. I appreciate every last one of you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on all of you. Stay black. Stay vigilant. Stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are, on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.